I call this meeting to order, the Madison Elementary School District, for public hearing. Ms. Humphrey, can you please call the roll?
President Causey.
Here.
Vice President Hunt. Member Gresham.
Here.
Member Thompson.
Present.
Member Holcomb.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. Our order of business for this public hearing is the 2025-2026 District Budget Revision Number 1. Dr. Guerin, would you like to introduce this item?
President Causey, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, I want to, in advance, thank Assistant Superintendent Scott Thompson and his team. We always know with current year funding, at the end of the year, there is so much work that goes on behind the scenes. So I'd like to turn it over to him.
Thank you, Dr. Guerin and board members. This evening, for the public hearing, I'm just going to walk through the revisions, and yeah, let's just get started. So, as is typical, just to refresh your timeline, we propose in early June, we adopt in late June, we sometimes revise in the December timeframe if necessary. This year it was not, and we absolutely must revise in May, really just to kind of shore everything up from the budget perspective and match it up with our current both expenses and any updates or information we've received from the Department of Education. This year, overall, we just have some changes in ADM. As a reminder, we are current year funded, so that means as students come and go during the school year for our first 100 days, it affects our average daily membership. Reminding everybody we get 1% of the funding for a student for every day they're with us for the first 100 days. We did have some one-time adjustments. There have been some legislative budget, I want to call it shenanigans, but I probably shouldn't say that. That was my way of saying it without saying it, right? I think the budget office at the legislature now calls them the one-time reoccurring costs.
Permanence.
Yeah. The permanent one-time.
Permanence.
Yeah, the one-time reoccurring one-times. And ironically, there seems to be that happening in part of our budget as well as other parts of the state budget. And then there's just that final year-to-date activity. So, the good news, from what we projected in June to where we are today, we have a very small decrease. We kind of looked under all the couch cushions and found all the nickels and dimes we could, and so I'm very pleased to say that our estimation at the beginning of the year is very close to our final, even with some changes. Again, it's got some one-time in there, and then the major issue is the student change. What was interesting is we have an increase or a decrease in Group A, which is our regular education students, and then we have an increase in Group B, which is our special ed and some of our special categories for funding. So what that looks like in an unweighted K-8 is about 63 ADM reduction. A lot of people kind of equate it to, enrollment. It isn't exactly the same, but for talking purposes, let's just say we're down 63 kids there. Slight decrease of almost 2 kids in preschool. It's really hard to talk about the weighted, unweighted Group B count, so I just put it to the weighted because that's how it really affects the budget, is the weight that comes in. So we kind of grew 30 students in that extra category. So lost 60, gained 30, much less of an impact. Just as a reminder, both for you and the public, that last year's legislative budget basically had a reduction to our capital. And that reduction is because for the first time in over 20 plus years that, actually I think it's about 25 years now, capital for traditional schools was never increased by inflation. Capital for charter schools was increased by inflation. We finally got the legislature to start increasing our capital funds, but then they stopped increasing it and started adding the inflation factor back as one-time funding. So that was one of those things I mentioned earlier. The other place that they cut was free and reduced lunch, or what we refer to mostly as the poverty weight, basically addressing kind of the social economic issues throughout the districts. Again, they took away the funding and then they kind of gave it back to us as one time. So they have been fully funding these things, but for the last few years, only on a one-time basis. If we weren't to receive those funds, it's $232,000, which is significant. I mean, it's not something that wouldn't have an impact if we were to lose that. So I will say that currently both the governor and the legislature have proposed continuing the reoccurring one-time over again. So the restoring of that funding is in place for next year. But of course, the budget process isn't done, and we have to wait to see. These are kind of the big movements that we see in the budget. Starting out, we have, and this is where ADM loss has an impact. So we did lose some students. We did reduce our budget by $235,000 as a result. Thankfully, the one-time funding was provided late in the year here, kind of came back into the budget, so it almost directly offset the reduction in students. That's the good news. The bad news is if we hadn't had a reduction in students, we'd actually see a little increase in our budget. And then we just had some minor $50,000 changes as we kind of shored everything up. So all of that added up, $52,000 in difference in our budget. As just an overall limits change, again, the M&O budget of $52,000, almost $53,000. Capital is prior year funded. So welcome to our wonky budget. Our M&O is current year funded. Our capital is prior year funded. None of it makes any sense, but that's what they've done to the budget over the years. And then the classroom site fund did see a pretty substantial increase when all said and done, between shoring up the last year's expenditures, carrying that money forward, plus the amount we're receiving per student. We're seeing another increase in the classroom site fund for next year per student. And a lot of that's being driven by the trust fund, the state land trust fund. Those funds trickle down into the classroom site fund. So while there's been a lot of discussion about Prop 123 renewal or how we might use some of those monies in different ways, I do want to highlight that we still do benefit, but it puts it in a box, and it puts it in the classroom site fund box, which, as we know, has very specific limitations on how we expend it. And so I think the discussion that you hear really on some kind of renewal revolves around maybe some different options for that those funds to be used outside of the classroom site fund. So it doesn't appear that any of that will move forward this session, but I think that's an ongoing conversation the state will be having as the state trust lands continue to generate revenue for schools. And that is it for the budget.
Are there any questions? Ms. Gresham?
Have hopefully easy one for you. Could you just talk about briefly at a high level with those one-time, when we're doing every year, having one-time funding every year, what is that doing as far as the base? It's not going into the base, our base level, right? That is supposed to be increased with inflation, but does that make sense?
That is, so it is, the base level increase primarily affects M&L, and that has, as a reminder, the Constitution was brought forward in Prop 301 back in 2001, and what was amended to the Constitution is that they must fund education by inflation or 2% at a minimum. And so that has remained intact. That is actually the reason that we had Prop 123, is the legislature failed to fund that during the Great Recession. And so to give us the money back that they owed us, they basically we passed Prop 123. So they haven't touched that. They have remained loyal to spending or providing us at least 2%. Now, I think everybody's pretty aware that inflation is quite far beyond 2%. So we are still losing funding in real time when inflation is higher than 2%. And so I applaud the fact that they haven't chosen to violate the law again, but I would suggest that there's an opportunity for them to do a little better than 2%, and yet that's all we've received. The only time I saw any kind of increase beyond that was a few years ago, right after COVID. We received about a 7% increase. That was the most we've ever seen, and that was just because there was a huge windfall of money that came in during the COVID pandemic due to basically the Wayfair decision. But so since then, it's been 2%, and we're losing traction. You know, utilities are going up, everything else is going up. So, no, they haven't touched that. That's still this does not affect that. That's why they could do it. Is these two things were inflationary increases to both the poverty rate and the capital, and they are not required by law to do that. It has to be budgetarily agreed to. So they were able to do the one time.
And the one time, do those get included in the 2% or inflation?
No, they really are separate. They're separate budget line items
That's
that
what I was
are added
getting
to our budget.
So we're getting these one-time items, but it's not accumulating as it.
No, in fact, that's the whole point of it, is it could, you know, they make it one time, so it's not in the baseline budget. It should be, that's what I'm trying to say. There should be an inflationary increase to the poverty rate, and there should be an increase to DAA. They stopped the inflationary increases. There is no constitutional requirement to engage in those two things, but instead of continuing to fund public education, traditional public education, particularly in the area of poverty, they chose to stop funding that and make it a one-time add back in, which they have honored since they did that, but this is year 3 now that we're talking about. So
Right, so we, like you said, we're actually losing money every year.
yeah, we're definitely losing ground in real time as it relates to the expenditures, utilities, you know, all that kind of stuff, and you know, healthcare and everything. So for sure.
Thank you for clarifying.
And just to clarify that, this would be for district additional assistance and for free and reduced lunch poverty rate, correct?
Those two things, yeah. Those are just the two areas that they have stopped funding at the increased level they had agreed to in prior years and have provided that additional funding back as one-time funding only. And they are proposing to do that again next year. But it is still not returned to the formulaic inflationary increase that they had agreed to a few years ago.
Thank you. Any additional questions? Ms. Thompson?
It's more of a comment than a question. First of all, CPI was announced today that it was, I think it was 4.8%, if I remember reading correctly. So 2% is woefully inadequate in the environment we are in right now, as we pay for fuel for our buses to transport students and food for kids and materials, et cetera, et cetera. 2% goes a lot. As families know, 2% goes a lot, much less than it did just a couple of years ago. So that's the first point. The second point, just for folks to understand, I lobbied for the Board of Regents over a decade ago, and this budget gimmick to create one-time funding for pretty much everything in state government so they could say that their ongoing budget is balanced is a farce. When you hear the legislative budget staff talking about what the real budget looks like, they're pretty clear that the baseline really isn't the baseline anymore, because they've taken so many things out of the baseline and set them aside to call them one time. The system's broken, and they should be addressing that. And I think it's woefully inadequate in K-12 spending. For sure, school districts across the state, across the country, are feeling a shift in demographics. Additionally, as there are fewer students students here, but I think we as a school board are dealing with that very well, being thoughtful about our spending and how we're deploying resources, but the legislature isn't upholding their end of the bargain. So thank you, Mr. Thompson, for this presentation. I feel very comfortable about the changes in the budget that you're proposing.
Thank you.
Mr. Holcomb, did you have something?
Yes, thank you. Thank you for that and the explanation. I just want to point out one other thing, too. It's not just the math that's being manipulated, but it's always the terminology. And that is one of the things that is very, in my mind, very insidious. Like additional assistance, there's nothing additional about it. We went through that whole fiasco when they had excess utilities. Nothing was excess about it, but since it was excess, they took it away. And I think that's something we need to be very cognizant of, is the labeling. We also have that issue that's coming up on what's in the classroom, what is classroom spending. That's what irks me as much as anything else, is you can't by inaccurately describing things, it makes it easier to manipulate them.
Well, I want to highlight that, to your point, it used to be called unrestricted capital. They then made it DAA to match CAA, which was charter additional assistance. As I mentioned, charter additional assistance has always been inflationary increased. Now DAA has the same name, but was not receiving the additional funding. So you can't call it a duck if it's not a duck.
Definitely call it something else.
I just want to mention that the reason why I think our board members feel the need to explain this from the dais is because in a regular situation in the past, you would be able to go down to the legislature and share your thoughts on the budget in a budget committee hearing meeting. Unfortunately, we no longer do that in the state of Arizona. There are no committee hearings for budgets. It doesn't exist. They have done away with that. And so unfortunately, we're left with being able to only share our commentary on the dais, which in my mind is a terribly undemocratic system.
Yes, unless you want to go at 2 a.m. when they actually pass the final budget. If you happen to be up at the time.
Anything additional on this item? Then I'd be happy to entertain a motion to adjourn our public hearing.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Gresham and seconded by Ms. Thompson. Please vote.
It's not coming up. Okay.
Voice.
You're going to do voice vote?
All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All
Aye.
opposed, nay, and the motion carries. We are adjourned. All right, call to order the May 12th, 2026 meeting of the Madison Elementary School District Governing Board. Are we waiting? Are we posted, right?
We're posted.
We're posted.
Yeah, we're posted, yes. Ms. Humphrey, please call the roll.
President Causey.
Here.
Vice President Hunt. Member Thompson.
Present.
Member Gresham.
Here.
Member Holcomb.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you so much. I will entertain a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It has been moved by Ms. Thompson, seconded by Ms. Gresham. Yes.
Can I, actually, my understanding is the agenda as published has the consent agenda before. I thought we were going to move action items up to the beginning of the meeting.
I thought we were doing the recognitions before that, and then
Right, you
moving-
do the recognitions,
Okay.
but before we do the recognitions and then the action
We
items.
do need a motion, please. Mr. Holcomb, do you have a
Yeah.
motion?
Yeah, I have a motion to amend the agenda to reflect that we will be moving the action items up after the ceremony.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought it was posted.
Oh, it's not on the computer, so I withdraw that, and I vote
That's
aye.
okay, that's okay. You were just following what one normally would, use the information.
I think you're allowed to change it too.
Yes. It's been moved by Ms. Thompson and seconded by Ms. Gresham to approve the agenda as presented. And we're voting. And that motion
Nope,
carries.
it's still, this is still.
Is there a need for an executive session? Seeing none, we'll move along to communications and announcements. Dr. Guerin, would you like to introduce item 4.1, presentations and recognitions?
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, it's hard to believe this is our last official meeting of the school year. So for the last time of the 25-26 school year, Miss Anna Andrews, president of MDTCA.
All right, thank you. The You Make the Difference and Shining Star Awards are presented by the Madison District Classified, Certified, and Classroom Teachers Association and Madison Administration to recognize the certified and classified staff who truly demonstrate Madison's vision of inspiring passion for learning and leading in an ever-changing world. All right, and tonight's You Make the Difference Award recipient is Nikki Paul. Nikki Paul inspires others through her positive leadership, deep expertise, and unwavering commitment to student success. She fosters a growth mindset among teachers and students by promoting mathematical thinking, collaboration, and risk-taking in learning. Through her leadership in implementing building thinking classrooms at the middle school level, Nicole has supported teachers in shifting instructional practices that increase student engagement, confidence, and meaningful learning experiences. Her enthusiasm for mathematics and belief that all students can succeed motivates others to reflect, grow, and strengthen their practice. Nikki consistently goes above and beyond by providing high-quality instructional coaching to K-8 teachers. She designs and facilitates impactful professional development that is research-based, practical, and immediately applicable in classrooms. Nikki models lessons, co-teaches, and provides actionable feedback that improves instruction and student outcomes. She has also played a key role in strengthening Tier 1 instruction and supporting the implementation of the Tier 2 intervention program, Do the Math, significantly enhancing the district's MTSS framework. Nikki builds strong, trusting relationships by listening carefully, valuing diverse perspectives, and meeting teachers and students where they are. As a former elementary and middle school math teacher, she approaches coaching with empathy and professionalism, creating a safe environment where educators feel supported to take risks and grow. Her advocacy for equitable access to rigorous math instruction ensures all students have opportunities to succeed. Committed to continuous learning, Nikki actively advances the field of math education. Her service on the board for Arizona Math Leaders reflects leadership beyond the district, and she consistently brings current research and best practices back to Madison to benefit teachers and students alike. Nicole Paul is an exceptional instructional leader whose influence is felt across the entire district. During her 14 years as a member of the Madison family, she has demonstrated dedication, collaboration, and deep expertise in mathematics instruction. Her ability to support educators, lead systems-wide initiatives, and positively impact student learning make her truly deserving of the You Make the Difference Award.
Nikki, I'm going to ask you also to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance, which we have failed to do. Making you work. I know, that's right. Congratulations.
You adapt so well.
Should have been the social student.
Congratulations. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you. You're in the lead. By yourself. Oh.
Can you coach the legislature on that?
I know. It sounds like they need a little lesson. Would you like to say something? Oh, sure. Actually, I have a tiny little correction. This is not going to make me younger, but this is my 16th year, finishing up my 16th year. But I've been so blessed to work with amazing people, have great leadership that have helped me learn and grow. Some of them are here, so thank you. And I still get to work with our students, so that's just such a great part of my job. And my family, part of them are here. We're going to run out because I have a baseball game to go to. It's in playoffs today. So.
And tonight's Shining Star Award recipient is Dale Winke. Dale Winke is a model employee whose dedication, craftsmanship, and commitment to others make him exceptionally deserving of the Shining Star Award. He consistently inspires those around him through his unmatched attention to detail and his ability to execute tasks efficiently while remaining mindful of costs. His work sets a high standard, encouraging colleagues to take pride in their own responsibilities and strive for excellence in everything they do. His performance is exemplary in every sense. From the initial stages of a project through to completion, he demonstrates top-tier workmanship and unwavering accountability. He approaches each task with precision and care, ensuring that the final result reflects both quality and professionalism. This consistency has earned him the respect of his peers and reinforces his reputation as someone who can always be relied upon to deliver outstanding results. Beyond his technical abilities, Dale shows genuine respect and concern for others. He is deeply committed to supporting his colleagues, frequently offering mentorship and guidance to help them grow. By openly sharing his knowledge and experience, he builds confidence in others and strengthens the team as a whole. Dale's willingness to go above and beyond fosters a culture of collaboration, trust, and mutual respect. He is also dedicated to continuous improvement, regularly seeking ways to enhance his own effectiveness. Whether by learning how to use new tools or refining his methods, he invests time in developing skills that benefit both his individual performance and the district as a whole. This proactive mindset reflects his commitment to excellence and his desire to remain adaptable in an ever-evolving work environment. Dale exemplifies service to others through his selfless attitude and strong leadership. He consistently steps forward to take initiative, often leading projects and encouraging others to perform at their best. His actions demonstrate a genuine commitment to the success of the team, and he serves as a role model for professionalism, integrity, and dedication. In contributing to the implementation of the strategic plan, he plays an active role through clear communication and thoughtful feedback. He helps identify what is working effectively and where improvements can be made, ensuring that the district continues to move forward successfully. His insight and engagement are invaluable and supportive of our organizational goals. As a dedicated member of the Madison School District, he places students at the center of his work while also fostering a positive and supportive environment for his coworkers. His long-standing commitment to his career and his willingness to help others are truly second to none. Through his work ethic, leadership, and genuine care for others, he has made a lasting impact and stands out as highly deserving of this recognition. And unfortunately, Dale is not here with us this evening, but Kyle DiMatteo will be accepting the award on his behalf.
Thank you.
And Ms. Andrews, thank you for spending so many Tuesday evenings with us. We're very grateful for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations to our award winners. Moving along to item 4.2, Superintendent Report. Dr. Guerin.
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, congratulations, 8th graders. They are the future high school class of 2030. It's true. To our 8th grade promoters, the future high school class of 2030, thank you for being such a vital part of the Madison Elementary School District. Each of you has left a lasting mark on our community, and we are incredibly proud of your achievements. During your years here, you have explored signature programs, sharpened new skills, and ignited a passion for learning and leading in an ever-changing world. As you transition to high school, we know you will continue to thrive and succeed. Remember, you will always be a part of the Madison family, and your potential is limitless. We wish you nothing but the best in this exciting next chapter, and don't forget to come back and visit all of the people that care about you. We'll be honoring our middle school promoters on Friday and Monday. So this year's going so quickly. So I have some very exciting people to introduce. I'm going to start out by describing them a little bit and then asking them to come to the podium to say a few words. I'm going to start out with Ms. Laura Dryden, and she will be the new assistant principal at Madison-Simus. We are thrilled to welcome back Ms. Dryden to Madison, where she originally launched her career as both a student teacher and a teacher. She returns with an impressive background in instructional coaching and leadership, including 6 years of dedicated service as an assistant principal in a neighboring school district. Madison-Simus and Ashley in particular are so excited to have her. Ms. Dryden, please join us up front.
Hello, President Kazi, governing board members, Superintendent Guerin, and Cabinet. It is both an honor and a responsibility that I deeply value to serve Madison-Simus as the next assistant principal. I was truly humbled to hear Superintendent Guerin refer to me as a catch during the last governing board meeting. I suppose that means expectations are already high, but I do fully intend to meet them. I am grateful to follow in the footsteps of the outstanding administrators who have served before me, from Dr. Joyce Flowers to the present day, and continue the long legacy upheld by Mrs. Murray and Ms. Bowman. Their leadership and dedication have shaped the exceptional culture that exists at Simus today. Returning to the district that has helped shape me as an educator and as a leader is especially meaningful. The Madison School District fostered my passion for innovative practices, strengthened my commitment to students and staff, and expanded my understanding of how strong relationships and high expectations create meaningful learning experiences for our students. I look forward to serving the Simus community and contributing to the continued success of the school. I invite all of you to visit Simus and see firsthand the incredible things happening there each and every day. Thank you.
See, she is a catch. Next up, someone that we're so excited is moving from the dean position to assistant principal position, Maya Rodriguez from Madison #1. Ms. Rodriguez brings a wealth of experience to her new role, having spent several years teaching and serving in a variety of leadership capacities. She particularly has expertise in the area of special education. Most recently, she served for 2 years as the dean of students for both Madison #1 and Madison Meadows. Ms. Rodriguez, we're so excited to welcome you as assistant principal of Madison #1.
Good evening. Thank you so much for this opportunity. I was going to write something down, but I wanted to speak from my heart. I am just so grateful to this board, to Mr. Brownlee, to Ms. Clark, to Ms. Sherman, and to Mr. Dugan, and Ms. Marshall, and Dr. Guerin for this opportunity. One of the things that I wanted to share that my resume will not share or will not state is that I am a mother of a soon-to-be 9-year-old who's severely impacted with autism. And so in my career, I took a break to be mom. And one of the things that drives me is our families and how we treat people, because I have sat on both ends of the table. And so what I'm most excited about to bring to our community is passion, compassion, and dedication to our children, because I know what it feels like to receive hard news. And I hope that when I meet with our parents and I share any type of news. It's done with love and good intention. So thank you so much. Number one is a magical place. We're doing so many wonderful things. I see the wonderful things. And when I hear of the budget, I see what that budget goes to and the need and how we're fulfilling the need in our school. We're a tremendous place, and I cannot wait to continue our hard work. So thank you for this opportunity. I am so excited.
And another assistant principal that we happen to grab from another district that we are so excited to join us, Mr. Stephen Combs, Madison Traditional Academy. Mr. Combs joins the Madison community with over 18 years of experience in education. Throughout his career, he has served in various leadership capacities, including a 5-year tenure as an assistant principal in a neighboring district. We are so excited to have him join Ms. Brooke Sachek at Madison Traditional Academy. Welcome to Madison, Mr. Stephen Combs.
Thank you. Madam President, Dr. Guerin, and members of the governing board, thank you very much for inviting me here tonight. I am very grateful for the opportunity to serve the staff, students, and families of the Madison School District as the next assistant principal of Madison Traditional Academy. Joining me tonight is my amazing wife, Robin, who is definitely my biggest supporter in my work as an educator. We've got 4 of our 5 children here. The youngest is Ian, and then Matthew, and then Lucy and Marie. Our oldest, Ben, he's studying abroad in Italy, but hopefully watches us on YouTube. In the past 13 years of my 23-year-long career in education, I've been serving the community of the Alhambra School District, and I greatly value the relationships that I've built with the staff and families there. In my 5 years as an assistant principal, I've worked with and learned from some incredible leaders, one of which is actually also here tonight, my current principal, Mackenzie Harris. I'll miss working regularly with them, but everyone I've shared the news with, my new position in Madison, tells me it is a great district. So I'm very excited to learn more about what makes Madison amazing, and I'm excited to make my own contribution towards that greatness. As one of the leaders in the Madison Traditional Academy, I'll focus on being present to the people that I serve and focus in on what matters most to the success of staff and students. I will support staff and students with systems that help them learn and grow. I look forward to collaborating with staff and families on the common goal of providing their children with an exceptional education that prepares them for whatever their future entails. I plan to lead with integrity, faith, and compassion while always working to better myself and those around me. Thank you again for the opportunity to serve the MTA community. I am very honored for this opportunity, and I'm excited to get started.
So I want to also thank our 3 assistant principals. It was quite a rigorous process to join Madison, and we really appreciate all that you did to join our team. Okay, I do have more. So, congratulations, Madison Governing Board President Mitra Kazi. I am so excited to share that Board President Mitra Kazi was the 2026 recipient of the School Connect Collaborative Leadership Award. This special award is given to a school board member who has partnered with other leaders to bring unified community engagement and support to their district, building synergy and empowering their board to exceed expected outcomes for the district. We also know that Ms. Kazi serves multiple terms in Madison, and she's also leading the Arizona School Board Association as their president. So what she does for public education each and every day is truly remarkable, and we are so very grateful. I have a video to share.
I think when you grow up with an immigrant parent, you don't fully appreciate until you're older the impact that they have on your life. And he was so good about making sure that that we were instilled with just a love for this country, a love for our democracy, a love for our democratic systems, a love for education. He was always in the classroom supporting teachers along with my mom. And so I have never not voted in an election because that was just instilled in me that this ability to vote is something you hold sacred, because in Iran you didn't have that under the Shah and currently in the current regime. And so I think it also is important to all of us to raise awareness that being a teacher in public schools is an extraordinary, I think, profession that it deserves a respect. There's no greater calling in my mind than to educate the next generation of students who are going to be our future leaders. And so I think that we all have a role in elevating that position and reminding everyone that we interact with that to be an educator is an important job. It's a noble position and they deserve our respect. I mean, I think at School Connect, you're probably not surprised to learn that if you go out and ask people to engage in schools in a way that meets them where they're at and what they're doing, the answer is usually yes. And frankly, we should be bringing different perspectives, because the strength of the board is having 5 individual board members that come together, bring our experiences, our ideas, and then, talk about them and make a decision and then support that decision, because once the decision's been made, it's the body that makes the decision. Collaboration, it takes time. Building relationships always takes time. But the outcome that you receive when that happens is so worth the work. But more than not, the outcome is going to blow you away. And so when we focus on the things that we all believe in, which is excellent schools in every community, in sufficient resources so we can do our work, in local control so we can make the decisions that our taxpayers and our voters voted us to make, that we can accomplish incredible things. I believe it to my core. I really do.
So well deserved. So, and lastly, I just want to thank all the community and parent organizations that supported our teachers during Teacher Appreciation Week. The love, the food, the sweets, the caffeine, all of the things. Mainly the messages, though, that they made a difference in the lives of children is what's so meaningful to our staff. So thank you for taking the time to do that. If you are still looking for some summer opportunities as a family, we do have 2 theater camps at Madison Center for the Arts, Peter and Wendy and Cinderella. You can go on the Madison Center for the Arts website. We also have a Spanish immersion camp going on, and also MAC, Madison Adventure Summer Camp. So check out the website for all of those opportunities, and I hope everyone has a wonderful last few days of school.
Thank you, Dr. Guerin. I've somehow composed myself. I don't know, lately, every time I talk about my dad, I am just, woof. Waves, right? We're moving on to board member reports. Mr. Holcomb, before I ask you to go first, you can explain why you're in the outfit you are. I just want to quickly congratulate, before they leave, our new assistant principals for our 26-27 school year, Stephen Combs and Maya Rodriguez. Thank you. And again, you do not need to stay because things are going on. It's Maycember. We understand.
Yes.
It is, yes.
I don't know the big deal. I got a hat, I got a tie, that's what I always wear. No, yeah, because I thank the board for being willing to move this up, because I get an opportunity to sing with my barbershop chorus with Camelback High School choir that sang with us, and anytime you get an opportunity to do that, I think you got to take advantage of it. And Mitra, I know you don't like it, but you deserve everything that's coming your way. The good stuff, the good stuff, and you've really worked hard. And I'll be perfectly honest, you've been the way you approach things, that you've always been an inspiration to me. So I appreciate that. And that's everything else has been said. That's all I've got.
Ms. Gresham.
Sure, thank you. Yes, congratulations to Mitra, and we will do farewell later on, but appreciate your sacrifice these last 12 years in Madison, and including in the last couple years at ASPA. And yes, I do mean sacrifice. So thank you for everything, and congratulations. And I want to, now that they all left, welcome and congratulations to our new assistant principals, and everyone else that's been promoted and moved up and all that. And I know Ms. Rodriguez is very well loved at number 1, so I'm very happy that she's found a home there. Congratulations to our 8th graders who are graduating. We will see you at the graduation ceremonies. And yeah, happy end of the school year. Thanks.
I will give a +1 to everything that's been said and not repeat it. So congratulations all around, and to Ms. Kazi as well. I do want to give a shout out to our staff in particular, not just because it was Teacher Appreciation Week recently, or Staff Appreciation Week, but I just want to point out that we have staff that constantly are showing up for our kids, not just in our schools, but after hours on their own dime. I know I had the principal from our school came to one of my boys' shows over the weekend, and it's so meaningful. They know how much the people at this in this district care about them, and I just want to say thank you for that, because I know it might be a principal coming to a concert that's not a school concert. It could be a MAC leader coming to a baseball game, or a teacher showing up to an outside event. I just want to thank everybody for all you do every day, inside and out, in support of our students. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Thompson. Just will reiterate the wise comments of Dr. Guerin and my colleagues on this board, but also just want to, I read today, and I thought this, I totally agreed. The School Connect founder and CEO mentioned that we're in the love business, and that just really struck me as an absolute truism. And what we do, and how our staff and also our students, like, we care for each other and we care about the outcomes in ways that are just meaningful and deep and real. And so I think that just speaks to volumes for the people that do this work. We will be moving along to our, consent agenda. I will accept a motion.
So moved.
I move, so moved.
Were you doing what?
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Thomas and Thompson and seconded by Mr. Holcomb to approve the consent agenda as presented. Please vote. Huh.
Moved by Noel.
We never had a chance to vote.
Yeah. Apparently we did.
No, this is the adoption of the agenda.
Oh, that's the adoption of the agenda. It is.
And the consent agenda is approved. Moving along to call to the public. I am not going to read the script because we have no calls to the public. I'm not seeing anybody in the audience. Molly, are you planning to call to the public? Oh, call to the public. So we will be moving forward. Action items, item 7.1, discussion of ASBA proposed 2027 political agenda. Who is introducing this item? Mr. Holcomb or Ms. Gresham?
Okay, I will do
Gresham?
that. I will do that. Thank you. Yes, this is our annual exercise in reiterating all the things that we are not getting every year. So I made some edits to our prior years. Mr. Thompson provided some suggestions, and then Mr. Holcomb, I think, put them all together. So I looked at it. I'm good with it. If you guys have any changes or suggestions, but again, and this, of course, goes into the larger ASBA document for the whole state, and that is much more bigger and inclusive of a lot of things. So this is specifically this year what we want to focus on. So I just, if anybody has anything, otherwise I will move to approve this.
I'll second, and then we can have conversation.
Mr. Holcomb, did you want to add something?
Well, I want to make sure, and I apologize, I'm a bit confused. Which one are we, because we've got multiple versions.
The one you,
The one that I,
yes, the one you combined.
oh,
Yeah.
okay.
We'll just,
Surprise.
take
I wanted to talk about it, but if we were then,
No, I thought the additions, I like the
Sorry, not letting
additions.
you-
I thought their clarity, I really enjoy the justification. I thought that was a strong.
and I'll see if that's, because you fill out a form, and so I'll see how much it lets us include. I'll include as much as we.
And if I may, if the justifications are the way it used to be done, is that you do it in the end, you'd submit a form and then you put a justification on it. I think that is helpful, particularly, if this doesn't get adopted into the agenda that the legislative committee adopts, which I'm on this year, that I think having those justifications available is going to be helpful at the meeting, because I won't be able to present it at the meeting because I'm on the legislative committee. I'm there to support, what the work of the legislative committee, but.
They do that
Yes.
beforehand, right? Before you
Right,
guys meet.
and I have this too. But I also wanted to really thank Mr. Thompson about a lot of what came out of this, besides the discussion and talking the things that we've talked about before, was really, if you saw what he did, I really tried to incorporate this particularly in the justifications and some of the language. For example, the fully utilizing the trust, things of that nature. So I appreciate that you liked it. I'd welcome any comments because it was just one thoughts, but I appreciate that. Thank you.
We get 3 and then 2 bonus ones, and then we can also suggest taking anything out or adding anything into the ASBA documents. So I figure we just won't, I didn't think we had anything for those, so we'll just do our 5. Done?
Any
Okay.
additional discussion on the suggested revision that Scott Holcomb, it is there, you had his write-up and then the completed, engrossed one. So I will entertain a motion then, if we have no other discussion.
Moved.
Ms. Gresham, okay.
Second.
It's been moved by Ms. Gresham, seconded by Ms. Thompson to approve the political agenda as revised by Scott Holcomb. Please vote. And that motion carries. Moving along to superintendent contract. Who is introducing this? Dr. Guerin? Yes.
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests. The contract before you is the board's revisions created by our attorney, Jennifer McLennan, for your consideration.
And this was the contract that we reviewed previously as a board. Are there discussion, questions?
Move to approve the contract as presented.
Is there a second?
I will second that.
It's been moved by Ms. Thompson, seconded by Ms. Gresham to approve the contract, superintendent contract as presented. Please vote. Wow, it is really slow today. No. And that motion quickly carries unanimously. Congratulations. We are thrilled.
Thank
Absolutely
you.
thrilled.
Can I say something, President
love for you
Kazi?
to.
Okay. I want to take a moment to express my sincere gratitude for the opportunity to continue serving the Madison Elementary School District for another 3 years. It is hard to believe I'm already finishing my 4th year. These years have truly been the most rewarding of my career. This place has become my home. This community continues to accomplish great things for our students every day. Some of those accomplishments are just the quietest things that we do for each other every day that make this community truly special. Our talented staff demonstrates an incredible level of care, and our parents and community members remain dedicated partners who believe deeply in the district's mission with trust, which is just incredible. This governing board empowers us to remain focused on what is most important, our treasured students. This work we do together is so very important, and I don't take it for granted even for one moment. Looking towards the future, our focused approach implementing our strategic plan and our school integrated action plans through the Building to Impact model, we will continue to move the needle on student achievement. Most importantly, we continue to do this without losing sight of the whole child. I am honored to lead in a district that balances academic excellence with such strong community values, and I look forward to what we will achieve in the coming years together. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Guerin. Ms. Gresham.
Just a quick comment. Thank you for everything you've done so far. And just so people know, what we've done is we've extended Dr. Guerin's contract for another 3 years. So we will have her for at least through 2029. So thank you, and we're happy to have you for another 3 years.
Mr. Holcomb.
Yes, and I'm very happy we're doing it this way because if you look out on the wall about the superintendents, when Madison really does well throughout its history, it's really when you have that strong continuity of leadership. And we've had it throughout the organization. But, your leadership has been exemplary, and I think it fits the district very well. You do what Dr. Baca said. I think you are a servant leader, and that really makes a big difference. And I'm looking forward to it. So we got those 3 years, and then you owe at least 3 more years after that, maybe 6, any event. But and thank you for sticking around.
Ms. Thompson.
Dr. Guerin, I just want to say congratulations. Looking forward for your next 3 years. You've done so much in the last little over 3, and we're excited to see what comes next. So thank you for your service.
I hope you know that it goes without saying that I consider your leadership just extraordinary. What we've accomplished in less than 4 years under your leadership really is extraordinary as well. It blows me away. There's just a feeling in this district that I don't know if I've felt as the level of the level of talent we have at all levels, the confidence in the district, from whether you have your kids here or you did or you're just a taxpayer. It is something that I definitely, it's palpable. So thank you so much. All right, moving along to action item number 7.3, 2025-2026 District Budget Revision number 1. Is there any discussion?
President Kazi?
Yes.
During the public hearing, you all voted on this, so we have a vote recorded if you would like to.
We did not vote during the public hearing. We voted to adjourn. We did not vote to accept the.
That's what I was thinking too. So
Yeah.
we'll do a voice vote on this one.
All right. So if there is no discussion, I will entertain a motion to approve the budget revision number 1 as presented.
So moved.
I'll second.
It has been moved by Ms. Thompson. It has been seconded by Ms. Gresham to approve the 25-26 district budget revision number 1 as presented in our public hearing. All in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay. And the motion carries. Moving to item 7.4, authorization to overexpend line items. Dr. Guerin.
President Kazi, members of the board, cabinet, and guests, I'll turn this over to Assistant Superintendent Scott Thompson.
Thank you, Dr. Guerin. Board members, this will be probably the only time you'll ever see this as an action item. It is kind of a housekeeping item. Basically, as a quick explanation, for example, there's a line item on our budget that's only $205,000. If we were to spend $206,000 in that particular area, we need your authorization to do so for a subsection. This authorization does not allow us to overexpend our budget, but only those items within the budget, because at this point we are only estimating our final expenses. So this will be a routine thing you'll see in the future, but for full transparency and because I did not see it in previous agendas, I thought it most appropriate for it to be an action item.
Thank you. Are there any questions?
I just want to clarify, so you're doing this now as an action item, but it'll be a consent agenda item going in the future?
In the future, it may, we'll either put it on consent or somebody mentioned to me the other day that it might just be part of the motion when you adopt the budget that we could give this the authority to overexpend the subsection. So one of those 2 ways, but it'll be more of a routine vote, not something you'll see as an independent action item in the future.
And if I may follow up on that, just because, so you were comfortable with that, and when we adopt the budget, that we give you the authority, as long as you don't override the total amount of the budget, that you can make it reasonable adjustments in the budget?
That's what I'm asking for, yes.
And just going forward, I much prefer that way. I think it is too. One of the things that is, and part of that works well is having that, and then you report to us. In other words, so we don't have to go through the
We would absolutely inform you of any changes like that. But at the end of the day, it is required by policy and law. And so it is a bit of a housekeeping issue to get this done now before we finish the budget.
Mr. Thompson, can you just speak to how this is potentially a best practice in other areas, just so that we have had that conversation?
Basically, I've been doing this in my history of adopting and revising budgets since I started. It's not something that is defined in our audit, as far as I'm aware, and it's not on the USFR questionnaire, but it is written this way in statute as I've provided to you, and it is in our own policy. So I think it's just good practice that that you give us this authority, understanding that any subsection line item could be overexpended, but the authority only extends to the subsections, and we have no authority to overexpend our budget.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson. Any additional questions? All right, I will entertain a motion to approve the item as presented.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved by Mrs. Thompson to approve the authorization to overexpend line items, and seconded by Mr. Holcomb. Please vote.
Indicates that I successfully voted. Did everybody get the?
I have not voted. We're going to voice vote this. Please signify, if you approve the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those
Aye.
opposed, nay. The motion carries. All right, so much fun. Moving along to information items, item number 8.1.
And I'm going to take
Oh.
my leave now.
Mr. Holcomb, thank you. Yes.
I'm going to need it.
Oh, you'll be great. Item
Shall-
number 8.1, Madison Education Foundation presentation. And it's only 6:30. Woo woo!
So I'm going to turn this over to Assistant Superintendent as we continue to diligently move through the meeting.
President Kazi, board members, and cabinet members, thank you for giving me the opportunity to present the foundation's update. So this year, I don't like to talk from the microphone, sorry. So this year is our first full year of working under our new mission statement. So to advance opportunities that enrich educational excellence beyond the traditional curriculum for the students. Oh, I have to, okay, sorry. Traditional curriculum for the students of the Madison Education Foundation. Our vision is that MEF is the philanthropic partner of choice in support of educational excellence. We do this through linking, encouraging curiosity, accountability, respect, and new ideas. So this year has been a lot of growth for our foundation. We have 20 members, 8 of them are liaisons from our schools, and we have done a lot of brainstorming, meeting with principals, trying to find new opportunities to bring from the foundation into our school district. And so we are proud to announce that we are going to be doing a trial run next year with Simus Elementary School. We are going to be working with the Arizona Science Center and bringing in the STEM extravaganza, which is basically a field trip that comes to the school. And the people from the Science Center will take the students and do experiments, do a big assembly, and while that's going on, they will also have professional development going on for the teachers. So we will be doing both. We decided to work with Simus because Lindsay brought it to our attention, and also it's our largest elementary school, so we thought if we can do it there, we can do it anywhere. And so hopefully it's a great run and we can bring it out to all of our schools. So that's kind of our goal for next year. Moving on to our other programs, we have Art Masterpiece, which is the longest running program we've ever had. For those of you who are not familiar with Art Masterpiece, it is a volunteer opportunity for our families. They are trained to go into our classrooms at all 8 of our schools and teach our students about artists, art history, working with different art mediums, and so they get that opportunity. Leanne Spangler is our representative from MEF who works with all of the coordinators, and she does an excellent job. And in February, we do Night at the Museum to kind of celebrate Art Masterpiece. And this year, I believe we were busting at the seams with the amount of people. We always try to do a clicker, but the kids are running in and out, so we don't know who's coming in and out and who's been already there. But we have all the artwork from all the students up. We had the Park Stomp up performing on stage. We have the Madison #1 students who do the live art, so they step out of their artwork, and we'll talk to you about their art piece and their artist. And then we also had the Madison Meadow students who were doing the face painting. Lots of hands-on activities going on. It's a free event for our community and all of our students and staff. It's just a really fun event. It's nice to hear all kind of the activity going on in the center. So it was a great night. Next, we have our education teacher grant. So this is our first full year running it as the education teacher grant. Previously, it was the arts and education teacher grant. And we are also proud to announce that this year, we usually give out $15,000 a year, and this year we gave out $25,000 a year. And that will be reflective on our budget for moving forward. So we're very excited about that. We had 32 applicants this year, and 27 received the grant. And all 8 of our schools received a grant. So it was great. You can see here we had some landforms. We had these breakout boxes, which is kind of like escape the room. So working on their critical thinking and just different teachers from different schools. We give out art grants all the way from the preschool level. So Camel View preschool received a grant to do their art presentation, their big art show, all the way up to middle school where we had Meadows got a new weight room with the new gym, and we basically supplied the whole weight room. So now they have a weightlifting class. So we're very excited. We range everything in between. So it's just been a great, we're happy that we've kind of expanded it to the education so we can hit all of our teachers. Next, we have the Extraordinary License Plate Grant. We do this in with the Arizona Community Foundation. If you see the license plate, I know Mrs. Marshall has one, the black license plate with the apple, and it says support our schools. I just got one. The funds from that go into this main fund, and this is for any teacher in the state of Arizona. So we try to reach out to as many schools as we can. And this year we awarded 14 grants at $16,000, and we reached out to 5 counties. So we're constantly trying to expand that. If that's the most difficult part, is trying to get the word out as much as we can. You can see here that we had, we purchased some Mr. Potato Heads and a Spanish immersion class, so they were learning about body parts. We had the life cycle of a trout, which was actually at Camel View. We have some other activities, but one of the most kind of impactful one we have is we also do, we send teachers out to PD, and so this woman wrote, she's from Somerton Middle School in Yuma County, and she wrote, receiving the Extraordinary License Plate Grant has had a transformative impact on my teaching practice and my students' learning experiences. Through this funding, I was able to attend the ISTE Live 25 conference in San Antonio, Texas, where I gained valuable insights into innovative instructional strategies, AI integration, and digital literacy tools that support 21st century learning. I brought these ideas back to my classroom, helping my students engage in more interactive, creative, and technical advanced lessons and promote critical thinking and collaboration. Additionally, the remaining funds allowed me to present my paper, Integrating Economic Concepts in my ELA class through the lens of the movie How to Train Your Dragon at a national education conference in New Orleans. This experience deepened my students' pride and engagement. They saw how their classroom learning connected to real-world academic discourse. It also inspired them to think globally and creatively about how language arts can connect with economics and social issues. Overall, the grant not only supported my professional growth, but also enriched my students' learning environment by bridging innovation, learning, and real-world application. So that was very impactful. On to our fundraising. So we have 2 big fundraisers a year. The fall fundraiser is our trivia night. We did our 2nd annual. It was a huge success. We sold out this year, so we had 100 people there. Tables were full. We have a DJ. We have food provided by local restaurants, which is donated, so we don't have to purchase any food. Oso, Jordan's, Aho Al's, Aioli Burger, all donate food. And it's just a great night. We have 4 rounds of some really hard trivia and some really easy trivia, and we have a lot of cheating going on. It's just a really fun night. We always do kind of the glow-in-the-dark theme. And then every table, or a table at the end of the night wins, and everybody gets a prize that we had donated. And Miss Marshall's table won this year, so smarty pants. So it was a great night. We raised about $7,000 when it was all said and done, so we were just happy. It was supposed to be really kind of started as a community event, and it turned into more of a fundraiser, so we're very excited about that. And next year, Trivia Night will be on September 12th, so mark your calendars and get your tickets early.
And what's the answer?
B. I had to look it up. It's B.
Yeah, you say B? You looked it up. You cheated.
I did.
Right.
Oh, who would
We
know?
have to hide phones. We have to make sure people aren't walking
That was my
around
guess.
cheating, looking over
I didn't.
shoulders.
Didn't cheat that night. I looked it up when I saw this presentation. Just to be clear.
Our next, I was really proud of this one. This was kind of a work in progress. We did the business fair this year at Madison #1. The two students in the middle, Jessica and Ra, approached me in August and were asking if the foundation would be willing to donate prizes for their business fair. And I said, well, let's meet. And I want to know more about the business fair. And we had numerous meetings. We had some ups and downs, but they pulled off an awesome event. It was held in the beginning of April. We had 20 booths, and they were all Madison students. We had 3D printers, we had printing, we had crochet, we had books, bracelet making, lots of necklaces. I spent a lot of money. And we had a lot of community members, families, and a lot of board members who also attended. It was a really great event. I'm really proud of them for pulling it off. We had Chick-fil-A donate 50 sandwiches, so we were able to feed everyone. But yeah, it was just a lot of fun, and of course we did the prizes at the end. Unfortunately, these two are going to be moving on to high school, but they have promised me that they will come back and help other students so we can continue this and try to get more and more students involved. So, great job to them. Lastly, the Denim and Diamonds Gala, our biggest fundraiser of the year, was on April 25th. It was a Western theme. We did things a little different this year. We did everything in the back of the house. So we have a live band, the casino-style games. We had 64 silent auction items. Just a lot of fun food by Lucy's. It was just a great event. I always think it's a nice time to do it because we kind of celebrate the school year being over and just celebrating Madison. And so it's a great way to fundraise. And so we raised around $75,000 this year. So it was a great year. And if you all haven't noticed, yes, you got your most wanted posters. Woo-hoo. And we're all featured. And then there's our little picture of Miss Guerin. So yeah, it was a great event. And next year it will be on April 24th. Any questions or comments for me?
Thank you so very much, Molly. Any
Yeah, just
questions?
thank you for another great year and season of the foundation. And yeah, we will hope to continue everything that we've been doing. So thank you.
Ms. Thompson?
I also want to thank you, and I think it's so great. I know I've said this before. I think it's so great that the umbrella of the foundation has increased to more than just arts programming. I think it's wonderful. It's wonderful that we're supporting the arts, but it's also wonderful that we can support other activities for the school, and so excited about all the work that you've done. So thank you so much.
Can I just add, sorry, I want to add one more to my comments that we do want to try, as a board member, I always try to make sure we are supporting all our schools fairly and not necessarily equally, because some need more help than others. So I just want to point out that I want to make sure that the foundation is also doing that as well, and not just providing, some schools that already have a lot of opportunities and maybe giving the other schools that don't more opportunities. Does that make sense? So thank you.
I just want to say thank you for your great work. I love that your willingness to say yes seems to happen a lot, and you are a shop of essentially one person with some support. So I think it's important that we recognize that you're doing a lot with very limited resources, and that just means that you just are really good at what you do.
Oh,
thank you for that, and thank you for all the great work.
Thank you.
Yes, and anyone that out there in the land wants to join the board.
Yes, we are
Reach
looking
out.
for board members.
Can I say one thing?
Absolutely.
I just remember sitting next to Molly when we were both brand new in the front row at our first Madison board meeting, and what she has done with the foundation board, from essentially just a couple people to including the schools and building a robust board, has just been incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving along to item 9, future meetings. Dr. Guerin.
Okay, let me find my list. So this was our last board meeting in May. Our next board meeting is June 9th, and we'll start with an executive session for my evaluation. You don't have to look sideways. I'll tell you what it says. We'll also talk about the 26-27 proposed budget at that time, in the hopes that we will be able to have a June 30th virtual board meeting to actually approve the budget and have the budget hearing. So we shall see.
Along those lines, I have a question, and maybe Mr. Thompson. So, and we've had to do this before. So say there isn't one, or it's done like that day, state budget.
At 1 o'clock in the morning on July 1st.
in the middle
but
of the
if
night that
in
they-
legislative time, it's June 30th.
So,
So we just kind of explain how we deal with that. We do like a preliminary budget. And
yes, and that's what we will be doing on, at the next board meeting. I'll be proposing the budget based on a lot of assumptions about what's going to happen. We have heard that maybe there'll be new forms released as of May 22nd, but even those probably won't necessarily encompass all the final options of the budget. But we have statutorily, we're required to propose and adopt regardless of what the legislature does. So it's a little bit of a catch-22 that we must move forward and they might not. So I can anticipate the June 30th meeting being the same day we're hearing about the budget when we're finalizing our budget. And of course, what might happen then is either a December or May revision, depending on how well we guess at what we think they're going to finalize the budget with. So that's how that works.
thank you.
Mhm.
Appreciate that.
Any additional questions? All right. With that, I will entertain a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
Second?
Wait, it's been surprisingly moved by Mrs. Thompson and seconded by Ms. Gresham to adjourn the meeting.
know.
Please vote. Please vote in a few minutes or so. Yes, all in favor of the motion, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, nay, and the motion carries. We're adjourned.
Thank you. Thank you.
Go enjoy the rest of the evening.
Yeah.
What's left of
Gotta
it.
get ready for graduation now.
Yep.
You know.
Thank you, Robert.
Thank you. Huh? Oh, yeah, I told them,